high school. We've had some amazing memories, but for the class of 2020, we've had to end our time shortly. Luckily for me and my class, we were one of the few who were able to have a ceremony, and this is that video. Really?
After preschool was elementary school, where our parents were tasked with the impossible, the science fair. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for doing my science fair project, because if it wasn't for your killer tornado posters every year, I might still be in first grade. Then there was middle school and high school, where we were given freedom, yet somehow you were always there by our side. Dad, without you, I would have never came up with so many funny nicknames for my science teacher. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Mom and Dad, your loving words and unconditional love gave me the security to know that I could do anything. I understand how privileged I am because you appreciated the little things. Without you, I would have never known even to do the simplest of tasks like using a microwave. Now I can head off to college knowing I can make the best Hot Pockets. Sure, maybe parenting is a thankless job, but the reality is that it's not completely thankless. Maybe our thanks don't come in the form of a simple, "Thank you, Mom," or "Thank you, Dad," but it comes in the fulfillment of the hard work that was once dedicated days, months, and even years later. When we see that you're stressed and say, "Let me help you," when we rush through the door to show you that we got straight A's, when we send you a goodnight text when we're at a sleepover, when we become hardworking adults and begin to start our own families and come to you and say, "Wow, now I get it. Thank you, Mom and Dad, I love you." Fellow classmates, as we walk across that stage and acquire that diploma that we so eagerly waited for, take a moment and remember who was with you every step of the way on our long 13-year journey at Priceville. Remember that just like our parents were walking beside us every step of the way, they'll be walking beside us tonight. How then can parenting be thankless? Thank you, Mom and Dad. I love you.
The class of 2020 will always hold a special place in my heart. The friendships we have made, the memories we have created, laughs shared, and tears shed will forever be with us. Although our school year did not end the way we expected, we still managed to make the best out of it by staying in touch with each other on Snapchat, GroupMe, and making huge circles with our cars just to talk. Don't worry, we stayed 6 feet apart. When I was writing the speech, trying to figure out what to say, I decided to ask my fellow classmates to share some memories that they cherished so that everyone could be involved in my speech. Multiple people wanted me to recite Coach Foster's, aka Coach Foss, traditional speech before each test. Oh, and if you didn't know, he has his PhD in smoke signaling. Or the time on our junior Civic 10 field trip with time to spare, we decided to visit the caves on the refuge only to be chased out by NASA scientists. And I must mention Coach Estes' all-girl AP history class where all the tea was spilled, but I secretly think he enjoyed hearing all the gossip. Or that time in Doc's class when the deer ran straight into the classroom window. Doc decided to name him Tungsten. It has been requested that I point out that Sergeant Traylor is still the most beautiful man that I've ever seen. And let's be real here, no other school has their own petting zoo. And even though I wasn't attending Priceville at the time, everyone has heard of the iconic fight over the French fry on the bowling field trip. We also accomplished many successes over the last 4 years at Priceville. Not only did our senior class have the longest senior skip day because of quarantine, also our bowling team went to regionals, softball won area our sophomore year, soccer was ranked first in state, girls basketball was a 3-time area champ, the band scored superior ranks in marching and concert, Volleyball went to state for the first time in school history, and we all went from playing on the playground to cheering on the front row as our boys won the first ever playoff game in PHS history. Looking back, maybe it is fitting that we were the class chosen for an ending like this, because the class of 2020 has always been unique. In the words of Hannah Montana, aka my long-lost twin, I know changing can be scary, but it's a part of growing up. It's how we find out who we are and who we're going to be. After tonight, we begin the next chapter of our lives. Whether it's leaving home for the first time, entering the workforce, or taking some extra time to find the right path, I encourage you to hold on to the memories that we have made. But for our present and our future, look to God for guidance. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." Priceville High will forever hold the last 4 years of memories that we will always have. Priceville High is having friends for the rest of our lives, and that means we really are all in this together.
Okay, so hi. As I'm sure everyone has already mentioned, this year's been kind of crazy for us. Even without a global pandemic, senior year is already kind of crazy. We immediately start out the year with last schedule, last first day, last first game. Do I need to keep going? Okay, y'all got it. All right. I mean, wow, there are just so many things that we're starting to leave behind. But with COVID-19, all this came even quicker than usual or even anticipated. I mean, who would have thought that our last day of high school would be in March? And who would have thought that I would skip on the last day of school to go climbing? Thanks, Chase. But on a serious note, life has been kind of crazy, but that's how life is, right? Honestly, y'all, this is the best preparation for the rest of our lives that we're ever going to get, other than education, of course. We're seriously ready for anything. I mean, we've already gone through a global pandemic, Australian fires, a presidential impeachment, and we've lost so many of our beloved idols, all in less than 6 months. Side note, if you're playing Jumanji, let's finish the game. Thank you. Seriously, though, you really never know what's coming next. And in my opinion, I think that's one of the most beautiful things in life. You really never know what's going to happen. It may be weird, messy, complicated, sad, wonderful, amazing, or above all epic, or any other adjectives to describe something. And as unfortunate as it is, there's absolutely nothing we can do to change that. So, with that being said, and I'm sorry for the cringe, let's kill it, guys. This is our chance. And as Beth made me say, once a bulldog, always a bulldog. We're equal.
I'm going to present the Mr. and Miss Bulldog, and then I'll present the recognition of the Mr. and Miss PHS. We normally do this at our awards night, but since we didn't get to have it this year, we did want to just recognize them. When I call your names, if you would, just stand to be recognized, and we'll let the audience cheer for you there. Mr. and Miss Bulldog is an award given each year to our most outstanding senior athletes. This is an athletic award given for outstanding athletic performance and overall contributions to Priceville's athletic programs. While this is an athletic award, it's also an award of character, school spirit, scholarship, and perseverance. These are the things that we consider during the selection process. This year's Mr. Bulldog is Mr. Seth Hood. And this year's Miss Bulldog is Miss Elizabeth Halbrooks. When nominating students for Mr. and Miss PHS, the faculty and staff are looking for students who are involved, responsible, respectful, dedicated, and kind. Seated here tonight are several students who embody these characteristics, but we voted in order to get the list narrowed down. And here are the Here are the top 3 nominees for Mr. and Miss PHS. When I call your name, please stand to be recognized. The second runner-up for Miss PHS is Miss Peyton Stevenson. The second runner-up for Mr. PHS is Mr. Will Munnan. The first runner-up for Miss PHS is Miss Sophia Bates. The first runner-up for Mr. PHS is Mr. Trent Holmes. Miss PHS is Miss Elizabeth Halbrooks. And Mr. PHS, and also marks this year as a very special year for this student being with us. He's our first ever National Merit winner, is Mr. Chase Taylor.
Brianna Michelle Patterson. Keaton Lane Pitts.
See, you didn't have enough water. Couldn't whistle. Couldn't whistle. Wendy said you didn't have no water. So
Aaron Adrian Quintero.
where's he gonna go to that row?
Graduating with honors, Frankie Salazar Silva.
That's one of Keaton's best buddies.
Ceremony you've been to in a long time, you'll know that the students put all this together. The top 10 handles everything up here. I want to say to parents, what a pleasure it's been to work with your kids. They've overcome probably more than any senior class we've graduated just in the current situation. They've complained, I'm sure, a little, but they have persevered, and they will be stronger and better for it. And I could not be more proud of them for handling that. I know we had a short time to get ready. Everybody thought this would happen midsummer. We were fortunate enough that we never changed our date. Thank you to Mr. Hopkins for that, allowing us to continue with this. The others that did the virtual, I think probably jumped the gun, but that was their decision. I'm proud we got to give them as close to a normal ceremony as we could. On behalf of Mr. Hopkins, on behalf of Mr. Hopkins, the school board, the staff, myself, Mr. White, I would like to present to you the PHS class of 2020. Stand. Before